Hello, I'm Margaret, and this is Mag Sing Along. Today I'm going to talk about how to lift your soft palate and make your voice much louder. So the first thing to address is, what is the soft palate? The soft palate is basically at the back of the roof of your mouth. So if you take your tip of your tongue and you slowly graze it along the roof of your mouth to the back like this, you'll start to feel something get a little gooey or a little soft back there, and that's your soft palate. Right before the soft palate is your hard palate. It's bone basically, so it's hard. So if you do k k k g g g, your tongue is hitting right in the middle of the roof of your mouth, and that's pretty hard. And then the further back you get, that's where it's soft. So the soft palate can actually move, it can lift, and its main purpose is to lift when we swallow, to block, foods and liquids from getting into our nose. A really great thing, because it's really uncomfortable getting liquid into your nose. That's its main purpose, is to lift and block the nasal cavity. Now, when we sing, we do know that it is good to have some sound waves enter the nasal cavity, because it does amplify our voice when it's a little bit in the nose. But we can also lift it slightly so that the sound waves actually can hit the cheekbones. So it can lift, and it slightly changes the shape of your mouth and throat so that when sound is exiting as you sing, it gets much louder. There's more momentum behind the sound that way. So we're going to talk about how to lift the palate. When first learning how to lift your soft palate, it can be kind of tricky because we can't really see in there, and it's kind of hard to feel if it's going up or not. And when we consciously lift it, it can sometimes cause tension. So there's a lot of tricks behind how to lift it, and some might work better for you than others. So you'll hear people call this shape that you'll make biting the apple. You can bite the apple and it lifts that palate. It's also, if you imagine catching the popcorn makes the same shape. Thinking a wide smile, having an inward smile, where you're lifting the soft palate as if it's smiling. That also works pretty well. Having a nice, slow, soft snort also lifts the soft palate. Sounds really great too. Just having a snarl. So you have to lift the upper lip. They're all the same shape. So you can pick one idea that works for you and try it in the mirror. Now, when you go to the mirror, I highly recommend the mirror. You can actually look inside your mouth, and I will show you right now, and you'll see that part of the mouth, that part of the roof of the mouth lift. So here's what it looks like. You can see the little dangly thing, the uvula back there. It's going up and down, up and down. Like that. Now your soft palate can strengthen. So an exercise I recommend is, once you get good at being able to lift it in the mirror and see that you're lifting it, you'll be able to develop the neural pathway that tells you if you're doing it or not. At first, you might not even feel anything, but with practice, you will. And when you get better at it, a way to strengthen your soft palate is to take in a slow inhale. On a snort, lifts the palate, and then on the exhale, you exhale through the lifted palate, and I like to go for a Darth Vader sound. and I can actually feel that my palate is lifted as I exhale through this scary, dark sound. And I would just do that 3 times a day, and that'll help strengthen your soft palate. So when we're singing and we want to make our sound louder in a certain part of our voice, we will make that shape. There's some places in the voice that will be better for this than others. So a great time to bite that apple is actually when you're trying to bring chest voice or mix voice as high as it can go, past where it naturally will go, and making this shape will actually reduce tension and pressure too. So for example, if I'm gonna sing gla gla gla, see how I have this nice bright upper lip smile? If I go gla gla gla, it feels tight once I get above where the chest voice needs to switch into head voice, and it doesn't feel very good, nor does it sound very good. But if I do it again with this shape, gla gla gla, it sounds much better and it feels much better. Now, another time you might want to start biting that apple is if you're singing more classically or singing much higher in your range, and you need to just get just a little bit more pitches up there. Just increase your range just a little bit. So if you're at the tip of your range and you just need a little bit more, you can slightly lift your head, bite that apple, aka lift your soft palate, and you'll be able to reach those notes. So for example, versus I'm able to amplify my sound. It feels better, and it also looks really cool. So those are some tricks. Now there are side effects to this shape. One is that it will raise your larynx, which is where the vocal cords are. It'll raise this little voice box a little bit. So it might start to get kind of tight if you do it a lot. So I recommend, doing head voice exercises down, woo, after a lot of soft palate biting the apple singing, just so that it doesn't stay in that position. You want the larynx nice and relaxed, the throat nice and relaxed. Otherwise, it's super fun, and it's a great way to make your sound louder. And that's how you lift your soft palate and increase the volume of your sound. I'm Margaret, and this is Mag Sing Along. You can join me every week for more tips on singing.